This is my sword I've been building so far. It's about like 95% done. Just a little more detailing. Uh, Here's my sword. And of course, there's the handle. I have to paint the handle and all that. And let's see what stuff you need to make one. Well, what I made mine out of. So let's see what I used. Alright. Some of the stuff I got at Walmart and some of the stuff at Home Depot. Wood burning kit thing right there. Walmart. Comes with a bunch of utensils. I used it to cut the sword patterns out of the plexiglass. The epoxy. That's what I use to, to glue the sword in little pieces. And the silicone, that's the last gluing I had to do on the edge of the sword all the way around to seal it. And razor blade, cutting pair of pliers, breathing mask. Of course, when you use a burner like that on plexiglass, it smells like shit. So, and of course, there might be toxins, all that crap. Regular clear Scotch tape, clamps, also at Walmart. The Sharpie, the ruler, the pencil, this cardboard styrofoam board. That's what I use to draw my design, and I carve it out, then I trace it on the plexiglass. And by the way, the plexiglass I got at Home Depot, so cost me about like $20 for like a 3x2 feet of plexiglass for 2 sheets. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. The epoxy, the silicone, and the plexiglass. That's stuff I got at Home Depot. The rest are at Walmart. There's paintbrush, of course. There's paintbrush. Alright, let's go through how I did it. Basically, like I said, I drew my design of my sword and my handle. I cut it out, traced it on the plexiglass, used the cutter there. I used the thinnest cutting utensil it comes with. The razor blade sucks ass, so don't even bother. If you're planning on using a saw or a drill, make sure the saw blade is able to cut plexiglass, because I tried and ended up cracking it. And same thing with the drill, it'll end up cracking it. If you do, though, probably want to be careful of cutting. So all I did was I used the burning utensil to burn holes and to cut the pattern out. Alright, so I traced and I cut 4 patterns of the sword, a bottom layer and a top layer, and a bridge gap that's basically the middle layer, but it makes a gap between the top and bottom. And I basically epoxied the gap, the bridge gap, to the bottom layer. Then I super glue the L wire. That's what makes it glow and all that stuff. Then basically I epoxy the top layer. So I clamp it down with the clamps. Then I let that sit and dry. Then I sand it. Then I do the window sealer. Make sure it's clear or transparent. Same thing with the epoxy. But make sure that you get the right epoxy. Like I got the quick setting kind, so you had about like a minute till it dries, so be careful with that. Now I did the whole outline of the sword with silicone. I let that dry overnight. Then basically all the paint I got at Hobby Lobby was a white primer, purple ink, and a clear coat gloss paint. And what I did is I mixed the clear coat with the purple ink, maybe like a transparent purple. Then I did the same thing with the white primer, but I made it like a frosty color. Then after those two colors are dry, I do a coat of just clear coat. Then of course I applied the handle. Of course I did the same thing. I traced it, I designed it, I traced it, I burned it out, and I attached it with bolts and screws and washers. Alright. By the way, the cutting pliers, when you melt plexiglass, it might leave like residue on the edges where you burned. So you might want to clip the residue off. Some of it comes off real easy. So yeah, they can come in handy. So alright, so the L wire basically, like I said earlier, makes it glow, lights up, and it's real pretty. I got 20 feet of L wire, but it came with 4 strands, and so each strand's 5 feet. So I got a 4-way splitter and a AA power inverter that powers up to 30 feet of L wire. The diameter of the L wire is 2.2 millimeters, and I seen smaller is like 1.3, but the 2.2 is like kind of like the norm. So, but it has the power inverter. It has 3 modes. One mode's off. One mode's a constant flow, just constant stream of power. And of course, the other mode is a blinking, I'm going to give you a seizure. So, yeah. So, stay tuned. I'll show you what it looks like in the dark, so it's pretty cool.